Hello, fellow seekers. Welcome back. Sorry it's been so long. I think it's been about 2 weeks, maybe, since I recorded anything. Um, yeah, we've been celebrating my mom's 80th birthday. We had a 2/3 day birthday celebration, so that's been taking a lot of my time. Anyway, that's done now. It went very well. Um, yeah, and of course, that's got me thinking about lots of different stuff related to my family and my history and I think I mentioned this before. I plan on interviewing my mother at some point and talking to her about kind of her memories versus my memories. Anyway, today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm excited about this. The first time I've had a question. I've been asking for questions. I've been asking for input, and Shauna was kind enough to ask a question. And her question is this: any tips or suggestions on how to question everything without fully losing faith or trust in others? And it's an excellent question. And like I've been talking about in this video, it's probably changed as I have changed as well. The different me's have had it kind of had a different relationship with it. And going back to the point where I remember, I don't know if the word is quite proudly or at least acknowledging that at one time I thought of myself as a conspiracy theorist. COVID has put the boots to that a little bit in that I'm not on the same level as some conspiracy theorists, that's for sure. Um, but I do, that's part of questioning, I guess, is you sometimes get drawn into these rabbit holes, and it can be a little bit dangerous. Certainly, the start of COVID, I got sucked into some of that stuff, and took me a while to come out of it. But anyway, so tips or suggestions. Keep going, I think, is probably the biggest thing. Um, my wife sometimes still gives me a hard time today, and that we'll be having a discussion. I'll say, "Why are you so cynical?" or "Why are you so down on that?" And she'll say, "Well, you made me this way, right? You encouraged me to question, or you question things, or you got me thinking about things." And that's probably true. I will take that, as I probably have done the same thing for lots of my students, um, and as I did for myself. And I think the secret is to keep going, because I feel, at least, like I've come out of that a little bit. I don't feel nearly as cynical as I used to, although I still question everything. And I think part of it is that I got to a point where I realized asking questions really just leads to more questions. There is no answer, definite answer. Just posted something recently that got a reaction, talking about the idea of certainty. Don't mistake certainty for truth. Because I think often when people are certain about things, they don't even consider other possibilities. They don't they don't ask questions, right? This is just the way it is. And I think the reality is that now, like I said, questions just lead to more questions. And I'm at the point now where I feel like I know enough, or sorry, I shouldn't have stopped there. I know enough to now know that I know very little, right? And that's, there's various forms of that idea from thinkers throughout history, that the more you know, the more that you learn that you don't know. And that's the truth, right? I'm becoming more and more comfortable with my uncertainty, I guess. I have ideas. I ask questions about those ideas. I examine those things. I read about them. I sit with them. I think about them. But I never really come to a definite answer. It doesn't end, right? And so, yeah, I think just like a lot of things in life, it's the actual quest itself, right? It's that journey as opposed to getting to a destination. And if you can keep that in mind when you ask these questions, um, again, it takes a little bit off of judging others. That's something, again, that I try not to do. I like everybody, I fall into it, but I really work hard at trying not to judge others. And maybe that's part of, not losing faith in them as well. That I can question everything. I can question what they're doing. I can question what they think. We can have those discussions. Sometimes my ideas might shift a little bit. Sometimes they don't. I don't always get the other person to shift, because sometimes they're a little more certain of themselves. um, but it does help my understanding. So yeah, I guess the when it comes down to it, um, keep going, right? Just don't allow that questioning of things to impact your judgment of others, or try to limit it. I mean, realistically, it's not going to go away. I know that. Um, but I think that I have gone past that cynical stage, right? Where now I realize that part of the joy of life is being able to ask those questions. And yeah, just exploring, right? The journey. Like, that journey is what makes it all worthwhile. So again, I now that I've done this video, I feel like I haven't really answered your question, Shauna. I apologize if that's the case. But that's kind of what's gotten me to this point. And I have further to go, and probably never will, like I said, get to that whatever that place is. It's just to keep going. I will leave you with this today. I've been, as I scroll social media, I like to save things and share things that mean a lot to me, or seem to, go along with some of the ideas that are in my mind. This one popped up the other day from Emily Dickinson. Wrote, "I am out with lanterns looking for myself," and obviously that's, a beautiful image of what I feel like I'm doing here. I am trying to find myself in many ways, and sometimes I have a bit more luck than other days. And I'll leave you with these two. This is Aldous Huxley, of course, famous writer. He said, "If most of us remain ignorant of ourselves, it is because self-knowledge is painful and we prefer the pleasures of illusion." And I think that fits in with what I'm talking about here. As you ask those questions, it really is about finding out about yourself, understanding yourself better. And perhaps that's, what makes you less cynical, is that pleasure of illusion goes away, right? So you're less cynical in that sense. And finally, this morning, Marcus Aurelius started the day with this one: "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." So much truth in that. And in one of my teachings yesterday that I was listening to, um, it wasn't about this necessarily, but he mentioned that on average we get 4,000 weeks on this planet. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a lot, right? 4,000 weeks. And so it's important, again, to remember that, to just kind of remind ourselves that there is going to be an end to this. We have a very brief time here, and how can we make the most of it? So, yes, breathe, think, enjoy, love. Thank you. Good seeing you again. We'll talk again soon.